Welcome to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfein. This is where you get the inside information to the legal profession, where you can meet some of Atlanta's top attorneys. We're speaking with Richard Griffin of the Griffin Law Firm. Got a great phone number called 1-877-PAIN-LAW. I love it because if you're in pain, you need the law, you need Richard Griffin. Right. Great phone number, by the way. Easy to remember. Recommend that you put it in your cell phone. God forbid you are injured, because nobody plans on getting injured, right? You don't know where to go, who to turn to, and we're recommending that you speak with Richard and discuss the merits of your case. Now, sometimes, as we were discussing just before, that you're involved, let's say, in an auto accident, and that has its own set of complications, right?
It does.
Okay. What do you do if you get injured, though, at work? Because that's a different kind of claim, right? So an injury at work is different from, say, an injury where I'm out of work and I'm just driving home.
Right, absolutely. In fact, you can have both. If you're in a company vehicle, you could be having a personal injury case if a negligent driver causes it, and then you could have a workers' comp case if you were on the job in a company vehicle or on the job getting injured anywhere. That would be workers' comp. The difference is, in workers' comp, you don't have to have a negligent party. No one has to be at fault. You can basically, if you are doing your job, you're on the job when an injury occurs, then you're going to have a case that's going to be one that we can help you with.
So my own fault. I stab myself, I trip.
Right.
You don't push me.
Right.
I fall because I got up uneasy. I fall and get hurt.
Right.
I have a workers' comp claim.
You can. Yeah. You don't.
Wow.
You can be responsible for it. You can make a mistake that's your fault. It could be a coworker's fault. It could be nobody's fault. You're still going to have a case, and you're going to be entitled to some things. You're not going to be entitled to pain and suffering like you can in personal injury.
Okay. But
you're going to be entitled to get your medical expenses paid for as long as you're going to workers' comp doctors. Income benefits are just the lost wages that you're entitled to. And even if you get an impairment rating, if you've lost part of the use of your body, you can be paid for that loss, a permanent partial disability rating.
But help me understand, Richard, because if I don't have to prove fault, and you're telling me I get my lost wages and I get my medical bills, what do I need you for?
Well, the problem is that what you get is what the adjuster is willing to give you.
Okay.
There's the law that requires them to do X, Y, and Z. But whether they do it or not, an adjuster is going to be, you're going to be at the mercy of an adjuster.
Okay.
If that adjuster says, you know, I don't think you should be back at work, even though the doctor says, you know, there's work restrictions, I think you can do the job, I'm stopping the benefits.
So they can do that on their own?
They can.
Even though I would say, no, I'm still injured. They have the authority to do that?
They can make that decision. Now, there may be, if you hire me, we get those benefits started, and they shouldn't have been stopped, it was an unreasonable suspension of benefits, then we're going to be able to get penalties and assessed fees. But you alone are going to be going, I don't know what to do. I don't know, I can't do a hearing.
So biggest mistakes an individual would make if they're injured at work, and now I want you to think about this because this is a very common scenario. People are injured at work all the time. 3 most common mistakes they'd make.
I would say the first one is they're afraid to tell the employer. And the law says you've got 30 days to give notice of your accident and your injury. So it's very important that you do that. You've got to do that because you may be very seriously injured, unable to work, and may have a problem because you kept it to yourself and didn't tell the employer.
Second mistake?
Second mistake would be probably not hiring an attorney because you're not going to know that you're entitled to income benefits. You're not going to know that you can have changes in doctors. A third one might be that, you know, you end up just going to the doctor that the adjuster sends you to. You know, you're entitled to some options.
Well, I didn't know that.
And we can help you. You know, the employer can have a list of doctors. If the list is invalid, and a lot of times it is, or it's not posted, we can invalidate that panel, meaning you get to go to the doctor of your choice.
What's the benefit to me if I get to pick my doctor, or versus they pick my doctor?
Well, the doctor is going to decide whether you can work or not. The doctor is going to decide whether you need to have that injection or that MRI, that test.
So in other words, if they stack the deck in their favor and the doctors say, no, you're fine, you're kind of left, you know, you may still be in pain and without a remedy.
Right. And that's a bad place to be. I mean, if you can begin to feel quite hopeless if everywhere you turn the answer is no. And, you know, the good thing is that when you're seriously injured, you have options. You know, if you hire us, we can get involved to make sure that we protect you.